taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Most of us blacks, or Negroes as he called us, really thought we were free without being aware that in our subconscious, all those chains we thought had been struck off were still there. And there were many ways where what really motivated us was our desire to be loved by the white man. Malcolm meant to lance that sense of inferiority. He knew it would be painful. He knew that people could kill you because of it, but he dared to take that risk.
He was saying something over and above that of any other leader of that day, while the other leaders were begging for entry into the house of their oppressor. He was telling you to build your own house.
Evening. This is a special edition of the No PC Show. We used to do this on the Thursday night, but since tomorrow will be Valentine's Day and people will be out doing what they do, I figured we just do something on this topic tonight. Tonight's topic is a part 2 of the blackface conversation that seems not to go away, and I'm just going to expand on my beliefs. And I'm hoping that everyone will eventually get around to maybe believing some things. We got a problem in America. And now we want to be offended by a few people in blackface when your whole existence of being on this continent has been subjected to blackface. America is blackface. But today we're going to talk more about black people and the blackface issues on this side of the table. More so, we know what they are over there. They've been that way. They haven't changed. They pretended a lot not to be the blackface, but as you see with the governor and all these other pictures that are coming out, I can actually share and show you a few of those of just the nonsense that we are talking about. In case anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, we're talking about all these images of blackface stars, former stars, Al Jolson. You know, this is America. As Danny Glover said, this is America. Don't get caught slipping, because they're gonna paint the pictures the way they want to paint it. Look at this hee-haw stuff here, ridiculous. And then they want to act stupid, like, oh, we don't know what blackface is. It's just like saying, oh, we don't know what slavery is. Everybody's boycotting Gucci now because of this nonsense here. And my thing is, there had to be black people sitting in the room when they presented this. So I'm not worried about the white blackface. I'm worried about the black blackface that sits there and goes on along with this. Katy Perry, the same thing. Oh, these are just cute shoes with faces on them. Yeah. Looks a little black, Katy. Then you got your boy Floyd Mayweather. He's out here. Well, I got this money, and, you know, I can do what I want and nobody's going to control me and tell me anything. We already know Floyd's got a few issues. And one of them's being, he really don't give a damn about black folks. Not on that level. He gives a damn about Floyd and Team Money. That's who he care about. So he's standing outside. They catch him coming outside the Gucci store. He's Gucci'd up. And that's his right. I was talking to a young man today. I was like, you know, you got a right to live your life the way you want to. You can spend your money the way you want to. You don't have to be conscious. But when you unconscious to this level of everything he could be doing with his money, it becomes kind of offensive when he's standing around telling people, look at this watch. This watch costs $18 million. If you just want to blow money, why don't you blow money on your people? Start scholarship funds. I don't get an $18 million watch. I don't get helicopters, flights. But he made that money, so we gotta let him do what it is. It's either money or integrity. That's what it comes down to a lot for me. And I know a ton of people sell their integrity for money. What they call it, because we've been bamboozled, right? Yeah, I'm sure everybody remembers that Spike Lee movie, Bamboozled. Excellent movie. It shows, because sometimes individuals are in a deprived state, an impoverished state, sometimes through mechanisms of their own and sometimes through other mechanisms, that the establishment feels like they can come in and create a storyline for your life, and you have to adhere to it or remain in poverty. They aired the show with Steve and Monique talking about what's going on with her, and I understand her standpoint, but all I can say for her is, if you want to have that standpoint, be ready to work outside the system. You don't have to worry about the system. The system is saying, we fuck with you when we want to give you this money, and you will behave accordingly. Steve Harvey knows this. Oprah knows this. Tyler Perry knows this. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share this clip from the show. It's about 4 minutes long, and then we'll talk about it.
All right, I'm back here with my sister Monique, and we're getting real. Okay, Mo, so listen to me. Here is what I want you to understand about this whole thing.
Yes.
As we try to come through this, because what I want really is for you to come through, because I know who you really are. And so what I want you to do is come through this with a different way. Because you, Monique, you my girl. I love you like a sister. I hate what's happening to you. I hate what they're saying that's not true. I want them to know that you are caring, that you're a great mother, that you're an incredible talent. I don't like the fact that you've been blackballed. You can be unblackballed. You too talented to have to worry about all this, where the next one coming from. I want this to end for you.
Well, listen.
I want it to end for you, Monique, because I love you. Because these people are doing it the wrong way, and you better than that. You are better than that. I probably should have called you as soon as, but I didn't. I got a lot of stuff going on.
I understand.
So I didn't. When I did call you, I listened to you. But I began telling you at the very beginning, I think we're going about this the wrong way. Now, we keep saying stuff in the interim that keeps just making it worse. Hollywood know you talented.
But it's making it worse for who?
It's making it worse.
For who?
Okay, if you think it's cool, then it's cool.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's not cool, Mo.
For who?
It's not cool.
For who?
The fact that we're sitting here arguing like this.
We're not arguing.
Okay, we're discussing.
You and your sister, we having a conversation, and mommy and daddy ain't here right now, and I'm getting ready to punch you in your mouth. That's the conversation. Bam, bam. Right. I think what happens, though, is I've had to understand how to agree to disagree without being upset. And that's the thing. I disagree with my brother. I'm not upset with you. I love you. I disagree with the way Oprah, Lee, and Tyler did it.
Cool.
But I love them.
I'll give you that. Now, guess what we need to do to move forward and fix this?
Come on.
These people owe you an apology. You owe those people an apology. Then we can move forward.
It's always, okay. You're always required. We did the show a couple of weeks ago. It's called "Apologize for Being Black." Oprah made her money with the white people. Oprah became Oprah, started out with the black people, then moved over to the white people. Tyler Perry started out with the black people. Now he's accepted the money from the white people. Steve Harvey started out with the black people. Now he's making the money with the white people. But it comes down to, at what point and how much money do you need before you free yourself from these people? The only problem I have with Monique is the way that she did it. If you got a problem with your brothers and sisters, stop putting it on Front Street. Go behind the black wall and have a conversation with these people one-on-one. What she did with Tyler Perry, then she turned around and posted the whole conversation, which was bogus. Monique's got a little anger issue problem, and you can't expect the people that are eating off the establishment plate to feel the same way that you do. Like Steve said, well, I didn't call right away because I had a lot going on. Basically, translation is, I'm not about to fuck up my money fucking with you, Monique. That's what that meant. So we're all aware of how the system works. So these people putting on black face masks, like I said before, shit, the way I looked at them, they all had on mask anyway. You know, ain't that the Paul Laurence Dunbar and we wear the mask? That's the famous poem. We're wearing a mask to cover up our hurt, our pain, our disgust, and they're happy that as long as we wear our mask, they can continue to wear their mask. Malcolm X always says, the only way to get to a true resolution is both parties have to feel free to say what they want to say, even if it offends the other person. You don't have a right to be offended if you stab me and I'm complaining about you stabbing me. You're the stabber. You don't have a right to complain to the stabbee, but that's what America does for you. It takes you and it makes you the victim and the perpetrator at the same time. And it washes its hands and says, we're clean. We don't do anything like that. So, and you're dealing with it on a global scale because everybody wants to be friends with America. So guess what? We overlook this and we overlook this and we overlook this because why would we not overlook it? America's being good to us. Screw them Negroes. That's where is that for us? Damon John from Shark Tank, he came out and he tried to explain blackface. He didn't think the Katy Perry shoes were a little bit racist. I don't think there couldn't have been a black person sitting in that room when they introduced that. So we got to check our integrity on what we're willing to do. In the movie Drop Squad, it's about a fictional company, and they hired a group of black people to sell products to black people. And some of the marketing was so outrageous, and it showed reference to like Tommy Hilfiger, but they called it Tommy Hill nigger, because Tommy Hilfiger didn't want blacks really wearing his clothes. Gucci really does. None of these people, while you're fighting and killing to put on their labels, their slave patches, as I like to call them. You don't see me running around here tomorrow. I need a Gucci this. I need a Prada this. For what? Those are the new slave labels that you sell your soul for. So you got Kanye creating a line that looks like straight space trash, but he's trying to market to the rest of the world who isn't buying it. And you know he can't market it back to us because, after all, he thinks slavery is a choice. And he's got on his black face, or his sort of black face, to appeal to that crowd that he's involved in. So it comes down to me that there's just a real major lack of integrity here. And Monique, you know, will she apologize publicly to Oprah, Tyler Perry? Maybe she will. Maybe she should. If the plan is to have a black Hollywood, so you're not subjected to the same things and the powers that be for blackballing you, why wouldn't you not side up with the people that may be in the position? I don't think she should mess with Lee Daniels because I've seen too many instances of Lee Daniels screwing over black people. Even with the incident with Damon Dash, where Damon Dash had to call him out because he gave him $1 million. And this dude, you know, he done went all the way Hollywood. He didn't take care of Monique in the Precious movie. He didn't take care of Damon Dash. Damon Dash stabbed to him. And then he put on his face for his people, his constituents. He's an asshole. He has chosen the Uncle Tom route of it all, and I will exploit everything with these black movies with gay undertone that will allow me to ascend into my master's house, where he will let me tap dance for him and bojangle for him, and I'll be happy with that. That's Lee Daniels. Now, I think she should try to work with Oprah and Tyler Perry because they're on the cuff of developing. Oprah's got her own station. Tyler Perry's got Lionsgate Studio and all this. So they're in positions to start creating content for black people. We got to get away from the models, and this is the hardest thing for us to understand, that we keep accepting the models that they laid out for us years ago, since we've been here. They're still telling us what success means. We're not defining success. They're telling us what success is, and we're accepting that. I was talking to a foreigner today, and I was telling him, that's a bunch of crock. They want you to go to school, spend $200,000 to get a job to work for them. But the whole kickback is, you got $200,000 worth of loans, you're going to be paying for that till the day you die with the interest. That's the hook. They're not going to give you that type of money to open a business or start a business. I got a business, and I can tell you, since opening my store, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous from the standpoint of trying to get help from your own people and participating in these programs that these other people are putting out, because it all seems to be a sham. It's an opportunity to borrow some money. We'll give you something, but we ain't going to give it all to you. Even though we said we're giving it all to you, no, we're going to give you a percentage of that. Oh, I'm the alderman. I want this community to grow. Hello, alderman. This is my 13th call. I haven't got a response back. These are the black faces that I'm looking at. But in my mindset, I already understand. I've got to do it regardless of what. If a black person comes along and I think they got on the black face, I need to use them for whatever I need to use them for to get to the next point. I don't have time to sit around and bicker and argue with this group and this group and this group. I have to use the black people, use the white people to get to the point where I want to go, then I don't have to deal with the white people. I may deal with the black people. It's according to if they have mind shifts. Because it's a lot of people out there ghosting, leaving their jobs because they just can't take it anymore, and they don't see the future. And in most cases, there may not be a future there. But everybody's got to eat. So you got to have a plan when they handing you your tap shoes and they got the blackface on, and you got to be, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna sit up there and put this blackface on? Am I gonna cow down the master? Now the Jewish people tell you, well, you guys got too much integrity. Like Jay Steinberg, who I used to do work for, a Jewish guy. Too much pride. I'm going to get that check. See, but they're in a position to say that. You know why they're in a position to say that? Because they got paid. So it's funny how everybody that benefits from things that were supposed to be for me and you turn around and tell you what your problem is, what you need to do. And for years, I fought the idea of separation. But it becomes more and more appealing every day, where we don't have to physically separate in the states, but we need to establish some black towns where there's black institutions, black banks, black schools, where we take more responsibility for ourselves, for our children, and for our future. Otherwise, we're going to sit around here for the rest of our life complaining because these people want to do what they want. They put a cover story on Esquire that's got everybody all up in, I want to see if I can find a good picture of this. On Esquire, and they said this is supposed to be a series, but now I call it white lash. The white people are lashing back out because they don't want to do the right thing, and they want people to feel sorry for them. So Esquire, on their cover, it says, an American boy, what it's like to grow up white, middle class. I can't read the rest of it, but it basically says white people are the victims now. This man is talking about how he can't have his opinion because now everybody's jumping down his throat. Okay, well, that's what happened to us for the past 400 years, right? But you guys made laws and instituted those laws and created a situation for us in this country, and now you got the nerve to sit around and play the race card, because that's basically what it looks like to me. Oh, you playing the race card. Nobody's going to have sympathy for you because the system is still designed for the American white boy to benefit. If somebody thinks I'm wrong, just let me know I'm wrong. Your boy Donald Trump has made it okay for all the real blackface racists to take off their blackface and present their white faces and admit to the atrocities in the mindset, and all these Negroes that want to say, well, people change. Not really. Not really. Certain people may change, through some experience. But it's hard to say you're changing when you're still participating in the system. All your buddies that said, no, I'm not voting for Donald Trump. These are your white buddies. Then they went right in that lot, in that booth, and pulled that switch, put their black face right on. They said, screw them niggas. We need a good white man out here to help us. So how many of us are going to stop buying Gucci? I don't buy Gucci in the first place. Gucci, Tommy Hilfiger. You can look back through my history. I've never been a designer person. And even with Jordan, when I found out that what Nike does with the children in Africa, when they were going through that whole phase. So never bought any Jordans or Nike products. if you happen to see me in something, it's probably because somebody else bought it and gave it to me, and I just took it. So we're getting too distracted by things while they're giving your boy Donald Trump, where they offered him $1.3 billion for a wall. Why can't we be up in arms when that $1.3 billion could have went toward educating black people, free education for black people, to move us up on another level? I'm not gonna be, like I said, I'm not gonna be distracted by bull crap that means nothing. And I'm gonna advise everybody else, don't be distracted by bull crap that means nothing. You got a white man in the White House trying to get $5 billion for a wall that can't stop anybody. At the same time you're building a wall, somebody's building a staircase just to run up, push it up and run and jump over the wall, or get in an airplane, just fly over the wall. So you're throwing money into the wind. Makes absolutely no sense. And like I said on the last show, he stuck a whole bunch of stuff in the black bill, what he said was for us, hiding other types of bills underneath it, just to further say, well, I did this for black people. Oh, okay, he signed a reform bill. You're right. And that's just for more federal prisoners, which aren't the majority of blacks in federal prison. But that's not cutting any money, because the corporations back those. So there you go. All the blackface stuff that goes on that we can't see because the black face isn't wiped on their faces anymore. But the attitude is still there, and that's what we have to be very aware of. The attitudes of America. So like I said, we just wanted to put a stamp on that. Just look at it. It's just a hot mess. I had some Facebook friends, and they did a party. They didn't do the blackface, but they put the chains on and the hip-hop gear, and they're drinking 40s. And I had to say something to them. I said, you know what? This wouldn't look racist if you had some black people there. And that's the blackface part of America that people seem to be missing out on. They act like we aren't here, and we behave like we aren't here. And that's what's got to change. Love, peace. So we out of here.
Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right.
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove you.
I refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself.
Step
now if your woman ain't no revolutionary, she'll persuade you to be a fucking slave for the rest of your days. She'll be grooming you on how to behave, teaching you how to coon and buck bang so that you can be safe. If that brother ain't no rider, soldier, no provider, molder of young minds, check it out, you got yourself a bitch. Think about the time that you invested in him. If he's wearing them skinny jeans, you a lesbian. For every 100 black women who ain't locked up, it's only 83 black men remaining. Take away 1.5 million black men who might have benefited their women and their children. You don't know a war when it's waged against you, when it makes you drive your baby mama to the clinic just to kill your own. Ain't no legacy to leave behind, cause ain't nobody sitting on your throne. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Sandra Bland was a rider. She wouldn't have committed suicide, and you a motherfucking liar. It would not be wise to stop when you hear sirens and you see the police behind you, but you don't wanna die. They gon' shoot you if you run. They gon' say that you was going for the police gun. That's why they shot you like 120 times, but you was still coming, so they put another bullet in your lung. Them devils got you praying while they murder, because they know you on that bullshit. They steady with them full clips and body armor. They kill your women in the street, cause they figure you too weak to do anything about it. You some shit, getting fucked in your sleep. They poison you every time you brush your teeth. You don't care, you behave like a slave. living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone. Living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Fuck that. Freedom or death, nigga.
If you just listen.
Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga.
You were getting a warning. Until now, you're going to jail.
I'm getting it for what?